Alright, this is going to be a very rough and dirty one-take kind of tutorial for how to speed solve the FTO for more experienced cubers. So I will put the Scramble in the description. Everything I'm going to do is going to be kind of fast-paced and not go super into detail about how to do things because this is aimed at, cubers with a little more experience. So, particularly with big cubes, if you know how to solve with YAL. So, U, L, R, F, B, R, B, L, B, and D. Pretty self-explanatory. You want to solve or scramble with the corner in front. So let me carefully do the scramble to make sure I don't goof it up. I'll probably do it anyways, knowing myself, because this is an important time to not screw up. But it looks correct. Yeah. I think we're good. Okay, cool. So the first thing you want to do is build your first center, and if you notice here we have this block of this center, so we're going to ignore this. We want to build this hexagon shaped center. Notice how these three pieces have a side color on them. That means you have to put them in the correct spots. So you can't just put them anywhere. So for example, purple has to be on this side of red. Let me grab another one of these things actually to use as a reference point, right? So if we put purple here, blue needs to be on this side, not this side. So I'll put this here. And so now we've built it. Ignore those. This is the shape we want to build, and it's a center. And this is equivalent to building first two centers in YAO. And then the next step is we want to build two corner triangle triples to put here. So here we have this white, red, blue, gray already paired with one of the blue triangles. So what you want to do is hold this kind of like on the side, but you can also hold it this way. But you want to put the triangle the other side needs to match up with in this middle layer. So you can flip it over to the top and then align them. And then you can insert it with, I put that on the wrong one, like that. So put them together, and then you build a second one. So I'll do this one, since this is already paired up, put that here, put it in, and now we should have this shape, and we're gonna hold it on the side like this. And let me set something up, because I don't have multiple 4x4s, unfortunately. That is like building the 3/4 cross in YAO, and it's held sort of the same way. And you probably guessed it, the next step is building centers. So you'll start with one center, and since we're solving on white, the last layer, the opposite face, is yellow. So when you're building these centers, make sure you rotate them so that way your last layer color of the edges that make up the center is on the opposite face of your first center. You will need to memorize your color scheme for this step, but what you can do to start is just look at the corner, the unused color of one of the corners you put in the forestry triple. So here we have white, blue, and red solved. So we're gonna look at gray. So what two colors make up gray? Red and blue, and they need to be on these two sides. So that's one way you can learn your color scheme while you're solving, if you don't want to just pre-memorize. So yeah, then this is probably not going to be the best center building, but then you will solve the last two centers. Let me set something up really quick. God, can I even set it up? Yeah, there we go. I will note, this is something really important to know that's really different about building centers on this thing. Because it's not symmetric, you can't just like build a bar and put it in, or it kicks the one in the back out. So if you end up accidentally building this kind of case, you do a solution like that. Basically, you want to build an edge triangle or centerpiece pair, and the other one be in the bottom, so you can and if this was rotated this way, we would move this in the same layer, rotate it. So then you can pair them together like that. And then again, make sure you rotate your center so that way the last layer side is oriented like that. Now this is where it gets a little bit complicated, but if you've solved Scube, you should be okay. If you've solved Scube with like the sledge-based Sarah's method, basically we're going to do sledges and hedges to flip these corners and triangles into this middle layer. So see the bottom corner of the corner, we just pair with a triangle here in the middle to match the color. So here, I'm just going to do sledge, like, or I guess inverse sledge, like that, to flip these two over. Wait, does that flip them? It flips two of them. It should be these two, see? And now this one is in the back, so I'm gonna rotate like this and do a hedge into the back, like that, flips it over. This got put in here. And then once you build this, you can insert it like that. And obviously you do the mirror if it's on the side. It needs to go on this side. And also you can do misalignments like this to insert it as well if you're not lined up. All right, and this is where FTO gets the most complicated to learn. There's a few ways to go about it. I'm just going to link a tutorial Kit Clement made on how to solve it, or the better way for beginners to learn how to solve it, in my opinion. And I'm just going to kind of briefly show you, but I'm not going to explain really in depth the old way of doing it that requires less algs. But basically, it's just going to use more sledge combos. So see how this corner is oriented and red's on the bottom. Luckily, this red triangle is also in this middle layer, so we can put them together and then do a flip to put it on the top so we can AUF it around. Next, we have blue and purple in here, but the blue one's not, but purple's oriented this way, so we can align it on top. This one's safe from that back hedge, so we can then do a flip to put that one on top. And then we can align the blue one. And then we want to do sledges to move these around. If you get this kind of case where these two need to be flipped in its spot, you do the back hedge and then you do sledge like that. And now you can align the center pieces fully, and then you will have either a skip or you will do one of two corner algs to solve CP. So these need to rotate counterclockwise, so the alg goes like this. I rotate like that, put this finger up here. And you just do the inverse for clockwise corners. So that's my very quick, fast-paced type of tutorial for how to solve FTO for more experienced cubers that, you know, have solved things like 4x4 and have been cubing, you know, just longer. It's not aimed, this isn't aimed at beginners. It's just kind of show how to do things. I feel like the more experienced you are, the more you can kind of figure out based on what you just quickly being shown things. And obviously you can join the FTO Discord server and ask questions. I'll put the link to that server in the description, along with the link to Kit's 2-look TCP, which is probably the better way for beginners to learn how to solve these last 3 triples, because it can be confusing. So yeah, hope this helped, and I'll see you later, nerds.